Good morning, folks. Snow sliding off the roof. I'm down here by the new barn. Guess that's what that is. Kind of loud. Anyway, good morning. What a beautiful day. Blue sky, sunshine. It's not terribly cold, but it's not very warm either. This morning was 11. I think it got up 25, something like that today. It's actually afternoon, but yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot anything too interesting to talk about here. Man, I'll tell you, what a day. First off, we're feeling a whole heck of a lot better. Cindy's, I think, just about done well, but I ain't quite done yet. I'm still not feeling great, but I feel a heck of a lot better than I did a few days ago. But today's been one of them days. I've been busy all day, and I got nothing really to show for it that's interesting at all. But I did have to laugh at some of the comments, that fog video. I had a couple of people say, well, don't go getting off into conspiracy theories and get this into some sort of crazy channel of you'll lose viewers. Well, first off, I'm not going to do that. I ain't into that stuff either. I kind of find some of it interesting, but no, I'm not doing that. I like being in the woods. I like being away from people. I don't like talking about a bunch of strange things. But second, I think you're wrong. I think the crazier you are and the more extreme and out there, the more people watch for whatever reason. But no, I'm not doing that. You ever watch that, well, you don't watch it, it's a radio show, but have you ever heard of Coast to Coast radio? It used to come on when I was night calving. Night calving, if you're never been around cattle or whatever, most of the cattle on purpose are bred so that they will calve in January and February, and the worst time of the year, really. But the reason for that is because by sale time, they're already at the same time, and they're ready to ship their cows, and they don't have to feed them through the winter. So it's all by design, but it seems like the absolute worst possible time to have calves being born. On the coldest nights, there was lots of nights it was 20 below zero Fahrenheit, and there were lots of times where the cows would freeze their ears off or their tails off, and if that happened, the buyers would dock them and pay. They'd hardly get anything for them. But a lot of times, I mean, they just flat out freeze to death. They're born wet and slimy and laying on that cold frozen ground, they would freeze to death. So they hire a night calver. And that was me and, a lot of other folks, but I was doing that job for a few years. I was going to work at midnight, and I'd be done by about 8 in the morning. And what you do is every half an hour or so, you walk through the cattle herd. Usually it's in a corral, and you check on all the cattle. And if anything's been born, you drag it into the barn where it's warmer and try to get the cow in there, and then come morning, make sure it's, warm and out of the weather, and make sure that it nurses. If it doesn't nurse by like 7, usually when I was doing it, I'd have to milk the cow and try to give the calf a bottle, which was always a battle. You get beat up by the cow and the calf too half the time. I didn't like night calving very much. Not to mention, it was doggone cold. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, I'm still not completely well. But anyway, what brought all this up was Coast to Coast radio show used to come on when I was night calving, and I'd listen to that. It'd help keep me awake, and It come up with the strangest off-the-wall stuff. If he wasn't talking about aliens and Bigfoot, he was talking about shadow people and lizard people and, I mean, just really bizarre, crazy things. But that was one of the most popular shows on radio, talk shows at night. And it's a national thing. It's coast to coast. That's what it's called. But like I said, it seems like the most bizarre, strange, Looney Tunes type stuff you can come up with is what people watch. But again, that's not what I'm doing. I just find things interesting once in a while, and if it's interesting, I'm going to talk about it. One of the best things about YouTube is that the viewers are not just United States, it's worldwide. I got people in Germany, I got people in Russia and Finland. There was some in the Philippines. On our side of the deal, making these, the analytics they call it, they show a breakdown of different things, and one of them is where the viewers are coming from. There's a lot of countries I've never even heard of. So the thing I like about that is if it's something like this killer fog that we don't have here. I mean, today was a beautiful day, and the fog we do have, it's just normal, regular old fog, and kind of interesting to see what people say in the comments, see what's happening in your area. I know what's happening here. I can look out the window. But I don't live in Ohio. I don't live in, Russia or who knows where. I'd like to know what you folks think. And that's, that's the biggest deal. It's so amazing. People get bent out of shape over the smallest little things. But talking about that, I did find, here I go again, I did find some strange stuff here on my phone here when I was sitting around this afternoon. But this one kind of ties into the killer fog, possibly. It probably has nothing whatsoever to do with it. But that fog that people have been saying they're smelling and seeing is supposed to have a real heavy chemical smell to it. Meridian, Idaho. Oops. It says here, unidentified smell in Meridian sparks concern. Fire department investigates. Meridian, Idaho Fire Department is responding to multiple reports of a strong, unusual odor detected across various neighborhoods in the city. Authorities have not yet identified the source of the odor, which has residents concerned. Fire department crews have been dispatched to different areas of Meridian to locate the cause of the smell. The fire department is working in conjunction with Intermountain Gas to trace the odor's source. Intermountain Gas has been quick to respond to all reported cases of the mysterious smell, according to a press release. Residents who notice the odor outside their homes are urged to contact Intermountain Gas at the 24-hour emergency hotline, blah, blah, blah. For those who detect the smell of gas inside their homes, the fire department advises calling 911 immediately so emergent responders can investigate and ensure safety. Okay, so if there's no gas leak and they can't identify the source of it, and it's multiple neighborhoods, is it similar to this fog, or is it something completely different? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not fear-mongering, I'm not spreading rumors, I'm just questioning. If you don't know something, the best way to find out is to ask questions. Then this one, it ain't funny. 2 people died. But here you go. So what do you think about that? I mean, these folks, they basically froze to death. It wasn't, Bigfoot didn't eat them or anything like that. 59-year-old and a 37-year-old appear to have died from exposure. So, I mean, that's really a sad deal. But it's kind of funny the reason why they were out there. And, were they just having fun, or did they have a lead, a sighting, So who knows what. What do you think on Bigfoot? Personally, I really want to think they're real, but all my life, and I've been in all the hot spots, supposedly. I've been in California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Colorado, Idaho, of course, Montana, Wyoming, all the places that they say are hot spots for these things. And I've never found a track. I've never seen anything. Like I said, I really want to. I want to think that they're real. But I can't say that I've ever had any evidence of that. The closest we came a few years back, me and Cindy were up deer hunting, and we were behind a locked gate, and you're allowed to hunt behind locked gates on foot. You can't drive back there is all. But we started smelling a real heavy dead smell, and there was the loudest roar, bark, growl noise. It's really hard to explain it. It was like all of those sounds combined into one, and it was extremely loud. I mean, gunshot loud, and not that far away. And we didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. Cindy says she thought she heard something run, but I didn't. But I got cheap ears. I didn't hear a thing other than that noise. But was it Bigfoot? Maybe. I don't know what it could have been. It wasn't like anything I've ever heard before. But I can't say it's Bigfoot. I'm not going to jump up and down and scream Bigfoot, I'm guessing, we don't have very many grizzly bears here, but that is an area that they have been sighted in occasionally. It could have been one of those, but it didn't sound like any that I've ever seen on TV or anything like that. I don't know. Who knows? But again, this is a big, big audience of people. If you have seen something, I'd really like to know about it. You don't have to tell me the whole story. Just put a yep on there, and I'm curious. My uncle and my cousin are both very honest people. They don't lie. And they told me they found some tracks one time, and up at the one hunting camp they had, they heard some screams off in the woods, and they're in the middle of nowhere. And they said it wasn't really, like a mountain lion scream or anything. They said it was more monkey-type noises. So who knows? Maybe it is possible. One of the things that I had hoped to get done this year, a bunch of deer over here. I'm right here in town, but look at this. Anyway, I gotta pick up some stuff in the hardware store here. So I'm right here in town, but deer are kind of distracting. Oh, what I started to say was one of the things that I had wanted to do a video on this summer, and I never did get around to doing it, is north of here, Gibbonsville, Idaho. It's an old gold mining town, and it's not really much of a town anymore. There's a restaurant there, and it's a housing community. There's no grocery store or anything like that, but it does have a post office, so they can consider it to be a town. But neat little place. I wouldn't mind living over there. But anyway, the Teddy Roosevelt, he had kind of a secondhand, possibly Bigfoot story that he told in a book called The Wilderness Hunter. I bought that book, and it's not in there. And I mean, I read through the whole dang book. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was thinking, well, what the heck? I've read a whole bunch of places that it's The Wilderness Hunter. Well, the book I bought, I got ripped off. It's only half a book. It says that The Wilderness Hunter has, I don't know, 500 pages or something. The copy I got's only got like 200 pages. So I'm missing a bunch of chapters that one of them talks about this story. What it is a trapper named Bowman told it to Teddy Roosevelt, and they say that it must have impressed him enough that he wrote about it in his book, and he seemed to kind of believe that it was probably true. So anyway, I'm not going to give it away, but if you want to look up Teddy Roosevelt's Bowman story, you can read all about it. But anyway, that happened right up here by Gibbonsville. And I think I know probably exactly where it happened, because these guys are beaver trapping, and I know where there's some beaver up there. And this little valley that, I mean, it's right in the exact spot that they talk about, and studying up on this a little bit, it's on the map there of where they're talking about. So, anyway, that's for another day. For now, there just ain't much going on. I got a pretty sundown coming into town. I'll show off here quick, but see you tomorrow, folks. Hopefully something more exciting than just going to the hardware store and talking about silly things. Bye. Man, that's pretty. The sun is going down. I was busy all day, but dang, some days there just ain't nothing worth talking about or showing on here. Oh, yeah. Get out of the road here. I turned sideways so I can film that. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye.